Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about history. Now it's still the history of the Art Center, but we're going to focus more on the story of how we came to be, and it all begins a long time ago. And the subject of our story is Alice Lawler. Alice Lawler was born in 1872 in Sioux City, and her family was quite prominent. And while Sioux City in the late 19th century really started to develop an amazing variety of cultural amenities, we had areas for music and other performing arts, we never really had a good place to view fine art. So in 1914, Alice Lawler and a board of very influential people in Sioux City gathered together a plan to open up something called the Society of Fine Arts. And they filed the Articles of Incorporation in May of 1914. And what was impressive is, along with filing the Articles of Incorporation, they also announced planned exhibitions that were going to open up immediately. So they opened up with a bang. And the Sioux City Journal was there for the moment and spoke with Alice and made this report. From a modest beginning, it is hoped that the gallery will develop steadily, and promoters of the movement do not consider it an extravagant dream that the day will come when among the public buildings to which Sioux Cityans proudly will call the attention of visitors will be the Art Institute, or some similarly named structure. And of course we know that that similarly named structure became the Sioux City Art Center. But in 1914, the society operated out of a small space in what was then the Carnegie Library in the downtown. They were able to use that space for operations and exhibitions as well. And they were able to work with leading Midwestern and New York galleries to bring in loans of exhibitions, sales of exhibitions. They brought in experts to give talks, lectures, teas, things like that. Some of the people spoke to civic organizations and even into the schools. What was also impressive is, along with exhibitions and programs, like you would expect an art museum to do, they did the thing that art museums absolutely must do, and that is they started a collection. We don't know what they collected in their very first year, but we know by the end of their second year, they already had a collection of about a dozen artworks. And what's impressive is that 4 of those artworks are still in our collection. They formed the foundation of everything that came after that. And now we have about 1,200 artworks. And those artworks were rather eclectic. Some of those original dozen included copies of Mona Lisa, some copies of busts from famous artworks as well. And so by 1916, the society was showing exhibitions both in the library as well as hotels in the downtown area, department stores. They were presenting programs, and they were amassing a collection. And as we do today, they did these things for free, for the public benefit. Like I said, before this time, Sioux Cityans would have had to travel to Chicago or maybe Minneapolis to find fine art, and the society brought it to the downtown and made it available. And this was the beginning of what would become the Sioux City Art Center, all led by Alice Lawler, who served as director, program director, curator, head of public relations. She probably even cleaned the galleries for all we know. She was an amazing person, and we would not be here without her.